We need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
And now, Reality Rants with Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here. And Dave Chappelle, in my opinion, last night on SNL, and I didn't see anything but the opening and a skit they did on House of the Dragon, the new Game of Thrones spinoff, was absolutely fantastic. And it got me thinking. I think that's important, by the way. It was kind of a theme in this 15-minute monologue. First of all, usually you don't see a 15-minute monologue on SNL anymore. That's not really a thing. They might do a bit. You get 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but as a comedian, he owned this. And the reason it got me thinking is, number one, he said things regarding the Kanye West controversy that anybody else at his media stature, I think there would have been a massive backlash from the mainstream Mockingbird media immediately. Now, there are some exceptions. We're going to show you those. But in large part, even CNN that had kind of done this attack piece, remember, they were trying to bring up controversy of, ooh, SNL writers, they're out. They want nothing to do with this bigot, Dave Chappelle. It's gross. It's ridiculous. Again, he's a comedian first and foremost. Has to be funny first and foremost. And this monologue is extremely funny, in my opinion. I think it hits a lot of points. Now, he's able to say something that we're just like not even allowed to talk about in society for some reason. Okay? And basically, in his defense of Kanye, he remarks, and you're going to be able to see it for yourself, because we're going to do a watch along in the uncensored portion of this broadcast. Can't do it on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. When we leave YouTube, if you're a subscriber over at Rockfin, come over to Rockfin. If not, come over to Rumble. It's a 15-minute monologue, and we're going to be stopping it frequently, so it's going to be quite the watch along because it's important. So he talks about his own experience in Hollywood, right? And you have to remember there was a lot of controversy at one time when Dave Chappelle didn't take the money, said, I'm not taking the moolah, all right? Kind of fell off the face of at least mainstream comedy and the entertainment industry in general for a couple years there. And as that happened, they portrayed him as going to crazy and, you know, going to Africa and all these different things. And remember, this was somewhat of a running theme with comedians who were black that hit the top, the apex. Martin Lawrence amongst them. And Chappelle talks about, and has talked about frequently, you know, these are very powerful people. Why are they going crazy? All right. And I'm not going to get into any of the conspiracy stuff or you know, the things even Kanye's putting out there. I saw Tucker Carlson covering Kanye's doctor and the text messages. And I've seen some interesting Twitter threads. That's not what this video is about. Basically, Dave Chappelle, because he's been able to just say, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to say what I want and do what I want and cut my own deals and pave my own way and go the hard way. He's not only benefited from the fruits of his labor financially, right, with Netflix, but he's able to push the envelope right now on issues that need to be pushed, in my opinion. Whether it would be the transgender stuff that so many people get upset about, or the fact that he just said, which he said, look, I've been to Hollywood. There are a lot of Jewish people in Hollywood. He's like, a lot. Okay? And he said at one point, and this is where the ADL and others, you know, first of all, he says, that doesn't mean anything. You know, he gives a big disclaimer. But I don't think it's crazy to think that. Because he basically says that Kanye West isn't crazy. He's just maybe not well. But you're going to get to see all this when we go to the uncensored portion of the broadcast. Now, that's like an obvious truth. And there are so many obvious truths that we're just not allowed to speak about. So basically, Dave Chappelle says, hey, man, the demographic is there. There are literally a lot of Jewish people in Hollywood. Now, if you say that, you're all of a sudden perceived as anti-Semitic. And that's exactly what he's been gone after for. But I want to point this out. Let's get to it. Okay, by the way, thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. We're doing it live, and we're going to do the whole monologue, the entire monologue on the flip side of this. And there's a lot more than just Kanye West. He talks about Donald Trump, and I think there's some good stuff there, and there's some bad stuff there. Dave Chappelle's monologue disappoints on Saturday Night Live. I thought it was pure hot fire gold. Fire! That's what I thought. Red voice, fire! And then ADL blasts Dave Chappelle's SNL monologue. But even CNN says, talks Kanye West, anti-Semitism, and Trump in SNL monologue. Pretty fair headline, right? So if you look at this, even the Atlantic's like, does Chappelle find anything funnier than being canceled? Yeah, he can't be canceled. He's done his own thing. So if you look up here again, they try to give you the NPR spin. Then we have that CNN. Always the authoritative sources at the top, huh? The good one. See, there's the Atlantic one. Even New York Times, you know, mocks Kanye and Kyrie. I didn't think that he mocked Kyrie. I thought he was making a bigger point that, hey, Kyrie basically tweeted out some link to some movie that was on Amazon, and all of a sudden they got him writing apology letters. Like, what's going on here? Okay? Maybe that's the mainstream spin. You know, Chappelle returns to SNL with no apologies and many jokes about Kanye. So that you have to get down here. Yeah, that's right. He had Herschel Walker. Ye's and see, again, pretty decent headlines. I think there would have been a massive backlash just for what he states, which is an obvious fact. And I'm glad that he did that. Okay. Now let's push forward. What else did he talk about? So again, you have the ADL coming after him, popularizing anti-Semitism. Again, he can't state the truth because that popularizes anti-Semitism. And I've seen so many tropes try to be attached with quote-unquote anti-Semitism. I want to put that out there too. Dave Chappelle monologue disappoints on Saturday Night Live. Now, just because we're talking about this, Ari Shaffir has a whole special called Jew. And I would encourage, I only watched this is an hour and a half. I watched about 40 minutes of it last night. Pretty hilarious. But for me, it's about free speech for everybody. And I think essentially when you get to a certain tier and say certain things, all of a sudden they want to take it all away from you. And that's one of the things that Chappelle highlights in this monologue. Monologue's great. You're going to want to stick around for the uncensored portion of the broadcast. You're going to want to come over. If you're, a Rockfin subscriber, please come to Rockfin. And if not, come on over to Rumble for free. We love it. By the way, tomorrow morning, we're going to be live, Red Voice Media, some more reality rants, 8 to 10 a.m. Monday through Thursday. We're doing it, Eastern Time. And tomorrow, we're actually going to have Patrick Byrne on in the premium portion of the segment. And we've also got Dan Dix slated for this week, who I did an interview with today. It's going to be a great one. And we also have Pastor Craig Hagan, and I should also have Ian Crossland. So this will be the first week where we're jam-packed with interviews on top of it. And we'll also, for free, be releasing the second hour from 2 weeks ago. So you'll be able to see all of that over at Red Voice Media for free. I love it. Remember, the premium portion of the broadcast, if you want to listen to the interview with Patrick Byrne, you can always do so on Podbean. Now, Dave also talks about Trump. And he basically says, look, when Trump was up in those debates, calling out the system and saying, hey, I'm a billionaire, I'm part of the system, I've been in these backroom meetings, he became legendary. He called him an honest liar. It's good stuff. I very much related to what Chappelle had to say on that. But then Chappelle buys into the Russia nonsense and kind of associates Trump's with the Russian collusion. Russia. That's disappointing to me. But at the same time, as I began this segment with, it got me thinking. Okay, it got me thinking. It's like, look, I felt like he got it right on so much in this monologue that a place where I disagree with him, I think is good because it shows that I can still laugh at him and enjoy the comedy and at the same time have a disagreement, and we're all not just parroting talking points, and that we do have differing opinions for certain reasons, one or another. Surprises me that Chappelle is brought into the Russia nonsense. But hey, I don't have the same life experiences. So, guys, this is what we're going to do. YouTube, again, I love all my my folks over at YouTube, 70,000 plus. It's tough. We're demonetized there. There's ways to support the broadcast. There's a buy me a coffee. You want to directly do so. That link is down here. You can join us through redvoicemedia.com. Okay, redvoicemedia.com/Jason. You can join us over right now live over at Rockfin. Subscribe. $9.99 a month, or you really lock it in for a year, $99.99 for the year. Again, we're about to do the watch along with the entire monologue right over here. We love you for coming over, and you get everybody else's content as well. Over at Red Voice, I'll tell you what, we got Pat Miletich and Jeffrey Wilson debuting their new show on Tuesday. Very excited about that. Got the archives at places like Band.video, BitChute, and we are also live on Rumble. So you don't have to subscribe to anything, although I would love you to come over. You got a Rumble account. Watch us there and subscribe. With that being said, we're going to go to Dave Chappelle, and we're going to get out of YouTube because we don't want any kind of strikes or any of that Johnny nonsense, or, God forbid, say something, that they might consider hate speech. Because, again, NBC can put out anything they want. Jason Bermas can't say